a dark part of history. That was a government decision that deeply scarred so many people.
Yeah, it was the decision by our government to take 120,000 people who were of Japanese descent, a majority of those American citizens, and put them into internment camps. That decision was made 75 years ago this week. My friend, Lucy Kirihara, was in one of those camps. Here's her story.
They're both immigrants. My father came in early 1890s.
To tell Lucy's story, you have to start there. When her father came with an American dream from Japan, he married her mother years later, and they settled in Portland, Oregon, where Lucy and her sisters were born. Life was just work and family until December of 1941.
But after Pearl Harbor, my goodness, all the hatred and violence. My sister was pushed down the stairs, you know, at school, and we couldn't go into certain places, and they put a curfew. We had to be in by 8 o'clock, and you couldn't travel more than 5 miles. A lot of people worked more than 5 miles. They couldn't go to work.
Fear of Japanese Americans became even bigger than that harassment 2 months later.
When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, our west coast became a potential combat zone. Living in that zone were more than 100,000 persons of Japanese ancestry, 2/3 of them American citizens, 1/3 aliens. We knew that some among them were potentially dangerous.
That was the reason given to Americans for President Roosevelt's executive order that took 120,000 people from their homes on the West Coast and put them into internment camps. Lucy and her family included.
They posted this thing saying, you have 2 weeks that you're going to be taken to this livestock place. We knew we were powerless. We just had to do what they told us.
Lucy's parents, along with everyone else, had to find a way to sell all they had for pennies on the dollar. By the end of summer, the family would land at one of the 10 main internment camps in the United States in Idaho. But when it came time to go, they would go as a family of 4, not 5. Lucy's older sister had found a miracle in her acceptance at the age of 16 to Macalester College.
She was going to board the train to St. Paul. And she said, oh, it was the happiest day of her life until she realized that the rest of us that same day were being shipped to Minidoka into the camp. And so then she got sad.
Camp days, Lucy said, consisted of making do, living in cramped barracks, rationed food.
But Japanese, they have this word, it's called shikata ganai. That means you can't help it. So you just sort of do it.
No radios were allowed, no newspapers. Lucy, an American, knew nothing of her future in America if there were to be one. Nor did anyone else. That was life for all of them for 3.5 years. Was that a camp or was that a prison?
It was a prison. You couldn't get out. You're confined there.
There isn't much debate about that. Those camps are a stain on America's history. More than 40 years later, in 1988, President Ronald Reagan said so himself.
We gather here today to right a grave wrong. This action was taken without trial, without jury. It was based solely on race. For these 120,000 were Americans of Japanese descent. We must recognize that the internment of Japanese Americans was just that, a mistake.
One other thing that President Reagan did on that day, he signed an order that gave the surviving internees $20,000. He also apologized on behalf of the United States of America. Lucy was one of the people that got that restitution. But you got to remember, in 1988, a lot of the people that were in those camps had already died.
You got to think of the other people that were involved in the war, too.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't do that to the people with German descent or Italian
Italians.
descent.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that's what I mean. Try to imagine that.
Well, I think that's why President Reagan said it was about race.
Oh, wow. Great story.